Hello students, today we are going to discuss about next topic of this chapter, and that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. So all of you know very well Mendel's work was remained unrecognized for so many years. Okay, so let me discuss why did Mendel's work remain unrecognized for so many years. At that time communication was not easy. Okay, at that time no internet facilities, no mobile facilities, all that are not easy. Okay, that's why communication was not easy, and that's why that work of Mendel remained unrecognized. Okay, and his mathematical approach was new. Already I have discussed about this. Okay, Mendel was the first scientist who had applied mathematical approach to the biology. Okay, and at that time this approach was very new. Okay, and that's why the scientists at that time cannot accept this type of mathematical approach towards the biology, and that's why his mathematical approach was new, and that's why it is unacceptable for that time. The concept of gene and what Mendel call it as a factor. Nowadays it is called genes, but Mendel call it as a factors. So the concept of genes, a stable and discrete units could not explain the continuous variation. Okay, so this was not known at that time. He could not give a physical proof. Okay, at that time a physical proof is not available for the existence of any factors. What we call it as a genes. Okay, so at that time Mendel was not able to convince the world about the physical proof, means it did not give the physical proof about the existence of factor, just because of at that time there is a no microscope. Okay, so invention of microscopy not done at that time, and that's why it will remain unknown, unrecognized. Okay, and in 1900 De Vries, here you can see the photograph, De Vries, Correns, and third scientist is the von Schermark. Okay, these three scientists, Hugo de Vries, okay, Carl Correns, then here you can see Eric von Schermark. These three scientists together in 1900 independently, not together, but independently rediscovered Mendel's results. Means Mendel's experiment was reformed. Okay, means it is formed or re-experimental done, and as a result of that they have shown same result as the Mendel found. Okay, so at that time, these 1900, De Vries, Correns, von Schermark independently do this practical. Okay, and they have rediscovered Mendel's results. And let me discuss that. So that is called as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, that is proposed by Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. Okay, after the von Schermark and that experiments, rediscovery of this experiment, these two scientists come in the picture. Okay, and that they have given a chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, and that is proposed by Walter Sutton, Theodore Boveri. Okay, in 1902. They said that the pairing and the separation of a pair of chromosomes lead to segregation of a pair of factors they carry. So this is very important. Okay, so Mendel, whatever Mendel is called it as a factor. Okay, now it is come to know that this due to these scientists, these two scientists, Sutton and Boveri, this whole world come to know that the Mendel's factor is nothing but is a chromosome. On the chromosome there is a gene. Okay, so they said that the pairing and separation of a pair of a chromosome, that is at the time of a cell division, you know very well. Okay, they said that the pairing and separation of a pair of chromosomes lead to segregation of a pair of factors, and we are calling it as a genes nowadays. Okay, so these factors are present on the chromosome that is only known after the work of a Sutton and Boveri. Okay, up to Mendel's work, the world is not know very much aware about the chromosome and factors and genes and all that, because at that time there is a no microscopy. Okay, there's no invention of microscopy, and that's why scientists are not aware about the chromosomes and factor, because these all are microscopic structures. Okay, and at that time some scientists do not know about the cell division processes and meiosis and mitosis and all that. Okay, that's why only this chromosome lead to segregation and all that. So after all, Sutton united chromosomal theory of segregation with Mendelian principle, means both theories together merged together, and now it is called as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, so here you can see our body, whole body is made up of cells, you know very well. Okay, and each cell is made up of, you know, in the center there is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus there are chromosomes. In these chromosomes having a DNA. On this DNA there is a genes, and what Mendel is calling it as a factors. Okay, so this whole theory was clarified by the Sutton and Boveri, and this theory is now called as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. So now let me discuss about some important points or statements of chromosomal theory of inheritance, which was given by Sutton and Boveri. So first of all, very important point here, which is concluded by the Sutton and Boveri, is that chromosomes are a vehicle of a hereditary. Okay, before that, whenever Mendel had done the experiment, at that time Mendel was unknown about the chromosomes. Okay, now Sutton and Boveri concluded after their experiment, okay, that chromosomes are vehicle of a hereditary. Two identical chromosomes form a homologous pair. You must be very clear here. Two identical chromosomes. This is two chromosomes together form an identical pair, and that is a homologous pair. So you can get the idea here. Gene for the eye color present here. This is a reddish color gene for the eye color. Gene for the enzyme A here, orange color. Gene for the cytochrome C, that is purplish color here. This is the homologous pair of a chromosome. Okay, and from the mother, and here from the father you can see eye color related gene here, greenish color, red color enzyme A, then C, there is a whitish color. Okay, this is from the father. So homologous pair of a chromosome here, this is a paternal from the father, maternal from the mother. When it get replicated, okay, when it get replicated, what happen? Homologous pair of a chromosome will be formed, and you know very well S phase of a cell cycle. During S phase of a cell cycle, what happen? S phase of a cell cycle is responsible for the DNA synthesis, right? So here what happen? These chromatid will form their exact copy here. Okay, and this is called sister chromatid. These both are called now sister chromatid. This sister chromatid is from the father. Okay, and similar here what happened? From the mother, one chromatid will be it will be generate same another chromatid, and it will now called as a sister chromatid. So now this is called homologous pair of chromosomes. Next point here, homologous pair will segregate during the gamete formation. And you know very well what is a gamete formation mechanism. Okay, so during gamete formation, any organism, whenever they do gamete formation, at that time they just do the meiosis process. And you know very well meiosis process having too many phases. Okay, and before it enter in the meiosis phases, they will enter into G1 phase. Then in between G1 and G2 there is a ACE phase. Okay, synthesis phase. And you know very well because you have already learned these all topics. Okay, regarding gamete formation, meiosis, mitosis, all that in the standard 11th chapter number 10. Okay, so just you just to rewind this. So here you can see G1 phase here. This is the chromatids. Okay, and in between G1 and G2 there will be a ACE phase. Okay, so due to ACE phase only, a synthesis phase only, these chromatid will be double and become sister chromatid and homologous to each other. Okay, and it become bivalent now. And you know very well during the meiosis 1 and phase 1 both will be segregated. Okay, segregation of a chromosome will occur, means separation of a chromosome will occur from the centromere region. Okay, and due to the centromere breakdown, what happened? All sister chromatid will be separated from each other, and each sister chromatid will be enter in the germ cell. So now you can see here four type of germ cells or gametes will be formed during the gamete formation. So homologous pair will segregate during the gamete formation. You must be very clear here. Okay, so metaphase 1 here, this is metaphase 2. Here you can see sister chromatid small a, sister chromatid small b, sister chromatid AA. Okay, this is the BB, and here you can see in the gamete only one will be enter like this. Okay, this dominant will pair with the dominant, this dominant pair with the dominant, recessive pair with the recessive pair with the recessive, and it may be alternatively, means dominant can pair with the recessive also, and recessive can pair with the dominant also. Next point, independent pairs of a segregate independently. You must be very clear because we have already discussed about Mendel's law of third law, and that is a law of segregation, and third law indicating the independent assortment law. Okay, so we have already discussed about independent assortment in previous lecture, what was done with the help of a dihybrid cross experiment, and that is nothing but this independent assortment is nothing but is a conclusion of a dihybrid cross experiment, and which we have already discussed. Okay, so what happened here? Segregation occur independently. It did not depend on the allele pair. Okay, means dominant will only segregated with the help along with the dominant. It is not so. Okay, it may be segregated along with the recessive one. Here you can see both the possibilities. This is possibility 1 and this is a possibility 2. So here what happened? Here you can see this both sister chromatid having a dominant one here, you can see recessive one. This one is also, you can see, dominant one, here recessive one. So here you can see one possibility. First possibility, here what happened, combination occur, dominant will pair with the dominant, dominant will pair with the dominant, here recessive will pair with the recessive. Okay, and next possibility, here you can see third combination and fourth combination, there is a possibility that this dominant can also pair with the recessive one. Okay, this dominant will also pair with the recessive one, like that. Okay, so this is the independent assortment, and which we have already learned in as a law of a Mendel, as a third law of a Mendel in previous lectures. Okay, let me discuss this with this one. Okay, suppose here you can see this is the orange one. Okay, and this is the green one. So orange and green, suppose this is the dominant one. Yellow and red both are a recessive one, like that. Okay, so here you can see dominant will be segregated with the dominant one. Okay, right or wrong? So dominant will segregate with the dominant one. As I told you, suppose here you can just imagine this one, this orange is the dominant and green is also dominant. So this orange is this segregated with the green one. So this is dominant, dominant, right? And here what happened? This is the recessive, suppose yellow, and red is also recessive. Then what happened? Yellow is segregated with the red one. So recessive, recessive. Same case here, just the representation is different. Okay, this is the same case, the here whatever represented. Okay, just representation is different, just a color code is given here. Okay, suppose here you can see this is the gene, okay, chromosome having a pair here. This one is the recessive. As I told you, this red is a recessive. So here one is the dominant, here one is the recessive. So here you can see it may be segregated. This dominant may segregated along with the recessive one, and these recessive can also segregate with the dominant one. So both the possibility is there. Okay, so this is called independent assortment of a chromosome, which we have already learned in previous lectures. So now let me summarize whole theory. In 1903, scientists Vries, Correns and von Schermer independently rediscovered Mendel's results. Okay, that is the experiments on the inheritance of characters. Okay, they have rediscovered the Mendel's work, and by this way, by this time, what happened? Advancement of a microscopy was there. Okay, that means invention of microscopy was done, and that's why they get the advancement of this microscopy invention. Okay, and that's where taking place, and scientists were able to carefully observe the cell division. Before that, nobody can able to do the cell division process, means nobody can observe this cell division. Okay, just because of advancement or invention of a microscopy only, people can able to do, means able to observe this cell division. Okay, and these will lead to this, at that time led to discovery of structures in the nucleus that appear to double and divide just before the cell division. Okay, and these were called as a chromosomes. Before that, nobody can see these chromosomes. Only just because of the microscope invented, this is possible. This become possible. Okay, chromosome nothing. It is a colored bodies as they were visualized by the staining. Okay, so chromosome meaning, what is the meaning of a chromosome? It is meaning that colored bodies. Okay, zome means body and chroma means the color. So chromosome is a colored body. Why it is name is given? This name is given because it is only visualized after staining procedure, and that's why name is given chromosomes. By 1902, the chromosome movement during meiosis had been worked out. Okay, as a result of this microscopy invention, these all become possible. Okay, meiosis, observation of meiosis, mitosis and all that. Before that, at the time of Mendel, this is not possible. And that's why the work of a Mendel was not recognized by the people. Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri noted that the behavior of a chromosome was parallel to the behavior of a genes. Just because the chromosome, on the chromosomes only genes are present. Use chromosome movement to explain the Mendel's law. Okay, and this Sutton and Boveri was the scientists who had utilized that this experimental evidences, chromosome movement experimental evidences with the Mendel's law. Okay, and by this way they have given the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Recall that you have studied already in standard 11 chapter number 10 that behavior of a chromosome during mitosis. Okay, that is the equatorial division, and during the meiosis, and that is the reductional division. You have already learned this. Okay, just for your confirmation, just repeat this chapter and recall this chapter. Okay, chapter number 10 of standard 11, cell division process. The important thing to remember here that the chromosome as well as genes occur in a pair. Okay, so you must remember this point. Chromosomes is also present in the pair and genes is also present in the pair, because one is obtained from the mother and one is from the father. the two alleles of a gene, you know very well what is an allele. It is an alternative form of genes. Okay, possible alternative forms of genes. Pair, it will be two alleles of a gene pair are located on a homologous site on the homologous chromosome. So this point is also very important. Two alleles, the two possible form of genes pair are located on the homologous site on the homologous chromosomes. So now let me discuss about some comparison between a behavior of a chromosome and a genes. Okay, and this table is from the textbook, and but here you can see here it is not indicated whether this is a genes or this one. Okay, so this is just indicated as A and B, but it is not clearly written this is for the genes or this is for the chromosome. Just you have to identify which portion is for the genes and which portion is for the chromosomes. After we discuss these all points, okay, just you have to write down your comment which one I am telling you about, the whether I am telling you about this portion is about the genes or this portion is about the chromosomes. Okay, so whether this A is indicating chromosome or whether this one is indicating the chromosome. Okay, whether this one is a genes or this one. So just you have to identify which discussion is for which one. Okay, after this discussion you just write down in the comment box. Now here you can see this is occur in the pair, this one is also occur in a pair. Okay, both are similar, but here this is not identification of this chromosome or a genes. So on the basis of this point you cannot identify whether this portion is about the genes or this portion is about the genes. Segregate at the time of a gamete formation, this point. Segregate at the time of a gamete formation such that the segregation will occur in such a way that the only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Okay, this is the another point. Now here in this case what happened? Segregate at the gamete formation and only one of each pair is transmitted to a gamete. Okay, almost it is similar point. Okay, with some difference. So you just identify the difference. Independent pair segregate independently of each other. Here what happened? Independent pair will segregate independently of each other. Here what happened? One pair segregate independently of another pair. Okay, this is the difference between A and B. So just you have to identify this one is a genes or this one is a genes. Okay, this is chromosome or this is chromosome. So which discussion is applied to this which one? Just you have to write down in a comment. So this is your homework for today's lecture, and before we finish this lecture, let me summarize whole topic by using one animation video. So look at this video.
Gregor Mendel, the father of modern genetics, not only researched pea plants, but also carried out several experiments with honeybees. In fact, by 1865, Mendel had published his work on inheritance of characters. However, his work did not receive due recognition until the beginning of the 20th century due to several reasons. Firstly, Mendel's work couldn't be widely publicized because means of communication in those days were not well developed as they are today. Secondly, Mendel had considered genes or factors as discrete and stable units responsible for controlling the expression of traits. He had also explained the concept of alleles and how they were responsible for the continuous variations observed in nature. However, his concepts about genes were not readily accepted by his colleagues. Thirdly, Mendel, for the first time, had applied statistical analysis and mathematical logic to problems in biology, which was objected to by many biologists of his time. Finally, Mendel could neither explain what genes were made of, nor could he provide any physical proof of their existence. Mendel's work got due credence only in 1900, when his results on the inheritance of characters were independently rediscovered by three scientists: Hugo de Vries, Carl Correns, and Erich von Schermach. Also, both chromosomes and genes segregate during the process of gamete formation, and only one of each pair is passed on to a gamete. However, they differ in the way they segregate. In genes, independent pairs segregate independently of each other, while in chromosomes, one pair segregates independently of another pair. Let's now study the behavior of chromosomes during cell division. In the anaphase stage of meiosis I, a set of chromosomes aligns along the metaphase plate. Here, you can see a long orange and a short green chromosome, as well as a long yellow and a short red chromosome aligned at the same pole. Now, consider another set of chromosomes aligned along the metaphase plate during the anaphase stage of meiosis I. Here, there is a long orange and a short red chromosome and a long yellow and a short green chromosome arranged at the same pole. Now, during the anaphase stage of meiosis II, you can see the orange and green chromosomes segregating together in the cell on the left, while the orange and red chromosomes segregate together in the cell on the right. Sutton analyzed this segregation of chromosomes during meiosis and concluded that chromosomes have individuality and they occur in pairs, with members of each pair contributed by each parent. He also concluded that the paired chromosomes separate from each other during meiosis, and the distribution of the paternal and maternal chromosomes in each homologous pair is independent of each other. Both Sutton and Boveri were of the opinion that the pairing and separation of a pair of chromosomes would result in the segregation of a pair of genes or factors carried by them. Their hypothesis on chromosomal behavior came to be known as the Boveri-Sutton chromosome theory. In fact, Sutton combined this hypothesis of chromosomal segregation and Mendelian principles and called it the chromosomal theory of inheritance.
In next lecture, we will discuss about very important theory of this chapter, and that is T.H. Morgan experiment, linkage and recombination. So till then, goodbye.